I want to go back, Rob, to something Martin just mentioned there. The Lakers, everybody has been making moves throughout the season, losing guys, getting guys, trading the whole nine, and they had been kind of quiet, I should say, for the most part. They did lose, Finney Smith is going to the Rockets, but now they're expected to sign DeAndre Ayton. Once he clears waivers and all that, he's going to get he's going to give back $10 million of the $35.6 million of his salary with the Blazers. The Lakers, of course, have been looking to get some center, get some rim protection, get a big fella. That's what a lot of people thought their Achilles heel was going into last postseason. He's at on paper, solid career. If I just told you, hey, man, there's this guy, he's averaging about 15, 16, and 10 mostly.
He's been a bust.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. If you just read his stat line, you'd be like, all right, I mean, this sounds like a solid player. That ain't the case to me. He's underachieved. He hasn't gotten better. He's been in the league long enough now, some of the 7 seasons where you expect, okay, he now has this move. He has this shot. He's gotten better. He's learned here. He's not that great of a defender. He'll block some shots here and there, but he's not the greatest defender. And we hear reports, you and I yesterday, that he's just not a guy that necessarily is great in the locker room. Always seems to be some issues, seems to be rubbing people the wrong way. So the Lakers make the move to get their center. I don't really like it. To me, it goes from a 7th seed-ish, where I had him about playing-ish right now, as constructed today, July 2nd, to a 6.5 seed. Like, that's the budget does for me. A half a position, Rob, for them with DeAndre Ayton. That didn't woo me. That didn't move me. I don't even know if they're going to be able to get the best out of him. And I wasn't wowed by this move, them getting DeAndre Ayton, especially if this is going to be their crown and jewel of the offseason. If this is the move that they said, when other teams said, we got this person, we got Kevin Durant, we've got Bruce Brown back along with Cam Johnson, we did this, and then they say, well, what did you do, Lakers? Well, we got DeAndre Ayton. That was our big move. Don't like it. I think it's a slight upgrade from Jackson Hayes. And that's saying a lot because Jackson Hayes didn't even get any burn in the postseason. So I'm not a big fan of this move. I think it's going to be a major help or bonus to elevate them to be in the standings right now in the West. What about you?
Yeah, it just seems like I don't know, basement bargain. The guy's taking a hit, giving up money to get out of another situation. Somebody doesn't want him. I'm not saying he can't be serviceable or whatever, but I can't see any tremendous upside that he's going to wind up being the player that they thought he was going to be. You remember, he could have signed a big contract. Remember the whole thing, and it's just been a disaster, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people had high hopes for him when he was in Phoenix, and then you remember there was during the playoffs they wouldn't even play him. Do you remember that during that stretch? He didn't even play. There was him and Monty Williams got into it and whatnot, and he's just I just can't explain what has happened, because I do remember him making a game-winning basket at the buzzer against the Clippers. Yeah, you remember? I think he made 2 of them. No, he made 1 against the Clippers. Somebody else made 1 against them as well. But that was huge in that series, if you remember that, with time running out in the game.
Yes.
But I don't know. I just don't have any. Wow, the Lakers stole Ayton. You know what I mean? Or the Lakers, they got lucky and it just feels like they need a big body. This guy's available, and it doesn't cost us that much. That's what it feels like.
And if I'm reading, to make sure I'm reading this correctly, but it is. I mean, the money is kind of substantial, in that this is what I'm paying to get this guy who I don't think is that much of a difference maker. When there are other bigs out there who maybe don't have the name, but I could get around the same thing as him. And I think the issue with DeAndre Ayton is, and it kind of reminded me of what, and he's nowhere near the player, because the person I'm about to say is going to be in the Hall of Fame. But what I think some of the detractors would say about the person I'm going to name, Dwight Howard, for the first 6-7 years of his, you're like, okay, woo, he's Defensive Player of the Year and all this. And I think you started to say, people will go, well, where's the improvement offensively? Where's the jump hook? Where's the little midi from the elbow? And you started to have issues with that. Well, at least with Dwight Howard, and I never got that, But at least I got, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, demolishing shots, changing shots, good with his feet, even could do some switching picks and have to guard guards for a little bit. He could do that. He was a monster on the rebounds. You felt his presence. Tip dunk, bringing rims, that was crazy. Okay, yeah, his offense never really improved the way I would have liked. And I think that's the thing with DeAndre Ayton is there's no improvement really anywhere. He hasn't gotten better with his shot. He hasn't gotten better with his footwork. He hasn't gotten better with his footwork defensively. So to me, that's where you go, okay, well, where's the improvement? And you look at a guy, I'll give you an example of a guy who was able to alter his game a bit. Chris Bosh was able to be a scorer and a rebounder in Toronto. Then he realizes with LeBron and D-Wade, I don't have to be that, probably won't be able to be that. And he becomes a heck of a defender.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if he wanted to do that. He just had no choice.
But he had no choice.
Go stand out at the perimeter.
And he became a great defender, great rebounder, and hit some shots when you need me. And he changed his game. And some guys have been able to do that and find some success. Kevin Love, I'm giving you 28 and 15 for years. Let me switch up. And other guys have done that throughout the course of their careers. And I just feel like he hasn't done that. Aaron Gordon has resurrected his career. He was just kind of in wasteland in Orlando, not doing anything, and you'd see a dunk every now and again, to become a very quality player. And in some cases, sometimes they're most consistent in some playoff series. And I just haven't seen that from DeAndre Ayton. That's the biggest thing, is that he's just been a guy that flounders and just flops around, just around, and he became just a guy. And you don't want that from a number one pick. You don't want that from a guy when you see, like, oh, he should be more, and you don't get that from him.
Yeah,
I think that's a big part of it.
It's disappointing. I mean, I think people had some high expectations, right? And they just have never lived up to it. And what do you get? A 2-year deal? How much is the money?
I thought the money was 30. Yeah, 34 is what I thought. Let me pull it up again here.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll come back with that and have that money again. Because I know that the Blazers are going to be taking back $10 million of his $35.6 million for next season.